Have you ever wondered how to figure out exactly what you want out of life?
This week, we're going to show you how. To really get what you truly want, you have to know. You have to know what you want. You have to be clear. And to get clear, you need to define what is success to you.
It's not necessarily what success is to someone else, but literally to you. You have to pick a goal for yourself. If you're living life aiming for targets, aiming for achievements that someone else has set for you, be it a parent, teacher, whoever, a spouse, whoever, even if you reach that target, at the end of the day, you probably won't be as fulfilled because you're not the one who chose it.
And on the flip side of that, you need to know not to judge people for not hitting certain targets that you feel are successful, because success is measured differently for different people. To some people, success is merely just paying the bills without a credit card.
And to others, it might be graduating and going to college.
For some, it may be starting a business.
For some, it might be getting $15 an hour at work.
Having kids.
Getting a new car.
How many of those do you want? How many do you
not want? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter the suggestions or examples we give, because we want to know what you want out of life. And it is your responsibility to decide what you want.
Yes, you got to take 100% responsibility. It is literally your ability to respond.
Now it's time to clean your house. And I mean that technically, physically, and metaphorically. If you can't make a decision, take a look around. Clean up, make things tidy and organized. That's one less thing that your brain can get distracted on. Even if you're not thinking about it consciously, your mind sees all of that chaos and clutter. It's decision fatigue because you can't figure out where to even start. Clean house, clean your mind, and then everything flows. Everything.
So really, you have to look at your mind like a computer, right? It's like you have 1,000 Chrome tabs open, but only 2 gigs of memory. It's just not going to work. If you close some of those tabs by keeping your house in order, it gives you less decisions to have to make. The next thing you have to do to get clear on what you want is to really have a conversation with yourself. And I mean, like, really have a conversation with yourself. You know, a lot of times people say, if you talk to yourself, you're crazy, or if you answer back, you're crazy. But that's not true. I talk to myself all the time, and I answer myself. I say, self. Self says, yeah. I say, why are you thinking that, self? Self says, I don't know. That's kind of stupid. And I say, yeah, that's stupid, self. So that was an extreme example, but if you don't talk to yourself in the way that you talk to other people, you cannot get to know yourself.
And really, it can be something as simple as asking yourself questions and then writing down the answers. Like the topic of this video, you know, figuring out exactly what you want. Why don't you write that question down and look at it and think about what comes to your mind first. Whatever comes to your mind, acknowledge it, write it down, and then ask yourself, why did I think that? When I think about it, how does my heart feel? Is my heart fluttering? Is it exciting? Is it racing? Am I feeling nervous about it? Look at all of your senses, because your body is here to help you figure out where you're supposed to be going. It is your guidance system. It is your GPS. So you have to get in tune with yourself. That's why we say it is so important to have these conversations. And a best practice is meditation.
So the next thing you need to do is determine your top 3 stressors in your life. Whether this is going to be your boss, money, pets, children, family. You need to make sure that you determine traffic,
your hair.
You need to determine what are these sources of stress so you can eliminate these. Stress releases cortisol.
Your fight or flight.
Yes,
hormone.
Fight or flight hormone, and you can't think properly in fight or flight mode.
Just because we're telling you to identify them does not mean you need to go on a tangent thinking about everything you hate, because the more you complain in life about and focus on what you don't like, the more you bring it about. But we want you to look at them and say, you know what, this was stressing me out, but I choose not to feel that way about this. I'm going to stick this over here and we're going to figure out how to deal with it, but we're not going to harp on it. All of life is improv, and this is probably just the actor of me coming out, but you do not know what's happening from moment to moment. It's a complete mystery. So why are we so freaked out about that when every single moment of our life is undetermined?
The decisions are not even open for you to make until you make the decisions that you need to make now. Thinking 5 steps ahead, yes, that is good for having foresight and planning, but really,
you don't have to know all of that stuff.
We have all the information that we need, and then once we make that decision, we can step back and respond to that decision and choose from the different paths that came up.
Big question to ask yourself. Why is this stressing you out? You know, is it an internal situation, or is it external? Is someone else outside of you making you feel stressed, or do you believe that they're making you feel stressed? Because nobody can make you do anything. Never let a stress go unaddressed. Is this stress pushing you or pulling you? Sometimes something that's stressing you out could be pushing you away from something you don't need.
Like out of a job or out of a relationship.
Sometimes the stress could be pulling you towards something.
Like a new job or a new relationship.
Exactly. You never know. You can always transmute a negative stress into a positive one just by changing your perspective.
Just reframe it.
Yeah, so like, oh my gosh, I have to go to work. Could be turned into, oh my gosh,
I get to see my friends.
I get to see my friends at work. I get to go to work. I'm getting paid. Look at it like that. Another example could be,
oh man, I have to cut the grass today.
I get to cut the grass. I actually have a yard, and I will feel a sense of accomplishment. If you haven't been able to make a decision or figure out what it is your life path should be, where you're going in life, why don't you ask yourself that question, not in your home, but maybe go outside, get into nature. Literally ground yourself, you know, just sit on the earth and ask yourself, what do I want? Why am I here? What should I be doing with my life?
Yeah, you can't avoid
the hard questions.
You can't avoid the hard questions.
You also have to remember that your environment includes everything around you. This is your TV, your computer, your phone.
You're letting all these opinions in your head, and you can't know what you think if you have all these other people telling you what to think. Remember, your attention is so valuable that companies will pay millions of dollars just for 30 seconds of it. Imagine if you just turn 30 seconds of that attention to yourself. You can make yourself a millionaire.
You have the opinions being fed to you through commercials. You know, these are people who are trying to sell you stuff. They're trying to not only sell you items, but sell you ideas.
Gatorade.
We're not trying to sell you Gatorade. Gatorade, don't drink that.
Do not drink that. The next video we're doing is on food trickery, so check that out.
Distilled water in that bottle. We don't drink Gatorade. If you watch things that freak you out, if you watch things that get you riled up, if you watch a bunch of fight videos, a bunch of dramas that are about people being catty,
and it's not real life.
You are real life. What you're doing right now is the real life. Focus on that. Stop worrying about what all these other people are doing and the life they tell you that you should be trying to emulate, and figure out what the heck you want to do with your own self. Do you know how much your subconscious is absorbing?
Whatever you think about and whatever you talk about, you send energy towards. Now that you just got these distractions like out of your head.
You pushed all that shit aside.
Yes, you can listen to your body now. Your body is your temple. Your body is your car. You're riding it around. You don't want to put junk fuel in the bins. Come on.
Right? I mean, are you really going to put that 87% gas in your brain?
Come on now. We put in premium. Premium.
Sleep is also extremely important, you guys. A lot of us are like, oh, we gonna go hard.
Think about the natural order of things. Humans are the only species on the face of this earth that thinks that sleep is optional.
Why would you put yourself in the position to not be able to clearly think of what you want because your mind's all fried and frazzled?
Rest, nourishment, downtime, meditation. Those are all the things that are going to help you get clear on what you want.
So here's your action tip for today. Get yourself a journal. Start writing down every single day. Kind of figure out what it is that you want. Each day, see, is this still something that that resonates with me? Is this still something that I desire? Is this still something that I want? There are days when your wants will change. Putting whatever's in your head out on paper
allows you to examine it more closely.
It helps you get it out of you. Write down what you believe you want in your journal every single night.
So if you got anything from this video, make sure to like and hit the subscribe button. The notification bell also must be hit if you want to see our next video, Monday, 6 a.m. We're covering food trickery. You definitely don't want to miss that.
That's all the time we have for right now. Until next week, focus on making every day legendary. You are worth it.
Peace.